guys to say hi and do me a favor, guys. Before I go any further, I'm only gonna say this. Welcome to the Den of the Djinn. I am your host, Candor. And before I go any further, please like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel and it shows how much you guys love me. Anyway, today we're gonna be talking about corporate bullshit. And what specifically? Well, wages, guys. Specifically, how a lot of these companies assume that every single person that they hire, or whatever, is a fucking cog. Not a person, a cog. How do I know this? A lot of times when you go into a job, right? They barely, and I repeat myself, barely pay you a living wage. And when you ask for something more, in the back of their minds, they're thinking this is like, what did you do to deserve it? I keep your lights on, for one. I mean, for F's sake. It blows my mind. Honestly, it blows my mind when I see companies right now. They're going, because like, why do nobody want to work today? I'm like, gee, I wonder why. Gee, it's not like, they want to work, but they could barely get a decent pay, right? A lot of times when you go into a job, right, and you spend 10, 12 hours a day at the job, you think to yourself, why bother coming here since I practically live here? Guys, why? Why in all Hades is it become a national, thing here in the States? And I'm pretty sure in a lot of places that every time you go to work, you spend most of the day and at a very rock bottom price, ladies and gentlemen. And what's even worse is they pay you just barely enough where you could, in their eyes, be quiet and get the job done. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to be quiet. I'm trying to live, guys, especially with everything going up. I mean, honestly, guys, the only thing that we need right now is our prices to go down and wages to go up. Why? Because if things stay where they are, because prices are going up, but our wages are stagnant, guys. If you guys don't know what that means, it's a $10 word for it is not going up. It is staying where it is. I mean, there are places that it gets worse. Why? Because companies are realizing that, hey, with a new batch of people coming into the workforce, they can underpay these people, or at least pay the long-term people less. There's companies that pay their long-term workers a lot less than the people that they hire. I mean, seriously, can you imagine going into work, right? And you realizing Susie from accounting has barely just got hired, and you've been there for like 4 years, 5 years, and Susie's getting $4 to $5 more than you are. Want to know why? It's because they're incentivizing more people getting into the company. That way they have an excuse to pay you less. They're basically squeezing you out and having everybody else come in there. And eventually they're going to drop Susie's pay because she's also been in a couple of years been a longevity. So they're gonna make excuses to drop her. And it's a cycle, ladies and gentlemen. They're not gonna pay her for the entire time she's there. They're gonna make incentives for her to basically help out, do whatever, and hope for the best and hope that nobody finds out. When people do find out, they try to make random reasons for you to either quit, they're gonna cut your hours. Ladies and gentlemen, they try to pull the most devious bullshit reasons to get rid of you, because their little tactics. And why? It's just an excuse for them not to pay you. It just blows my mind, people, how these companies get away with this shit. And no, it doesn't. No, it does not. What blows my mind is people know this is going on and they don't do anything about it, or they can't. See, that's the difference, though. It's not the fact that they can't. It's just sometimes they're not willing to, for fear of retaliation, which again isn't good. But some of these companies, they make it hard. They make it hard to prove any wrongdoing. It makes me sick to my stomach working in a basically, look, don't get me wrong. Capitalism is good in a sense where if you want something, you go buy it and you work for it. That's cool. That is awesome. But when you have to spend a majority of your life just to barely scrape, let alone get what you want, it's kind of hardly worth doing it, isn't it? When that exact mentality, oh, you got to work for it. Well, I do. The difference is it's hardly worth doing, because I'm belittled. I'm told every day that it's not enough. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm just saying, companies should be more human than machine. And a lot of companies would prefer you to be the cog that does not, But do you know what happens after many years of a machine part going at it, doing its thing? It starts to chip. And after a certain amount of time, that chipping goes on, and it starts deepening the chip. It starts going more and more. It starts getting deeper, like a crevasse. And all of a sudden, it breaks, and then it goes up to other parts. Yeah, just so you know, guys, thank you for that sermon. But I don't do religion, so please keep it off my channel. Please and thank you. If you want to spout that, I respect your autonomy to do so, but please do not do this on my channel. I sincerely appreciate it. Kitty, how you doing? Thank you very much for checking out my videos. Would you prefer I went the Boo saga, Kitty. And if you know where that's from, hit me in the comments. If you don't, well, you guys really need to figure that out. Huh. Anyway, I'm just having a little fun before work. Because I'm bored out of my tail before I go to work. Again, I'm not religious. I believe, and here's my 2 cents on that. I do believe Jesus had a lot of good points. I do. I really do. I just don't like the idea of them glorifying him as a god. He did do a lot of things for a lot of good people. I don't deny that. But him being revered as a god itself, not so much. If anything, he was a demigod. He was someone with special skills that back in those days were revered and feared. So that's just my personal opinion. Now, that ladies and gentlemen, is the difference between a religion and just respecting someone's vision. A lot of people just turn it into a religion, and me personally, I just prefer going off what his intent was. His intent was just basically trying to help people, and that's my personal opinion. Very, very loose, but that was my entire intent on that. As far as the how I feel about uh, that individual. See, now there you go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not even gonna get into it. You have your opinions. I have mine. They're not 100%. They're just personal ideas in my head, and I feel like mine can be right. I'm not saying they are right. I just don't ideally like someone being revered as a god when he had a mortal coil. I just don't believe that. Sorry. Anyway, Terman Jackson. I like that. The Jackson 5, eh? Anyway, thank you for checking out my videos, guys. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and again, comment down below. I'm just telling you guys, all in all, is if you are a business owner or working for a business, or you're a manager or whatever, just treat the workers like what they are. They're human, ladies and gentlemen. Give them breaks, show them a little love, and they'll come back to you with loyalty in spades. It's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm not gonna go into it. Yeah, this is exactly why I don't really get into why I don't get into religion, because a lot of people are devout on that, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm not gonna argue because it's not worth it. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, be safe, and may the gods and your God be loving you and keeping you in their heart. Take care, be safe. This is your friendly neighborhood gamer Djinn Kendor, wishing you would like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next. Take care.